Hi everybody, Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Friday, January the 10th, race number 8 at Santa Anita. We close out the card with a skullbuster of a state-bred maiden special weight going 5.5 on the turf. Let's take a look at this field. 3-year-old filly Calbreds. You can download free formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Access them, handicap along with us. We'll take the field in post-position order, beginning with the number 1, Time for Sally, trained by Edwin Alvarez, longtime assistant to the late Gary Sherlock. Time for Sally draws inside with Rafael Bejarano, $9,500 buyback as a yearling.
And we'll see what this horse does first time out. I mean, she's got a little pedigree on her side, but it's mostly to go longer than this. We'll see if she needs a race.
Dam was a winner on the turf. She went 1 for 2 on the surface. She's foaled one quick winner, a horse that won in quarter horse and mixed breed races. This sire, Time to Get Even, 3 for 15 with older debut runners, but 0 for 20 with first-time turf performers. The number 2 is Bella Vita. This horse was a $75,000 yearling who sold way up, a $400,000 April 2-year-old in training from the first crop of Bayern. The dam is a half to Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner, Vindication.
I mean, yes, a little precocity there. Vindication was a very good 2-year-old. We'll see what happens with this horse. You know, they paid a lot of money for this horse. I guess breezing a bullet 9 and 4 in April. We'll get them to pay money for you. We'll see what this horse does. You know, Simon Callahan does a good job with his 2-year-olds, but he's not much of a debut turf kind of guy. I got him at 3 for 33 debuting on turf over the last 5 years, but the ROI is positive.
Bayern 3 for 19 with first-time turf runners. The 3 is Warren's Empress. This is a daughter of Clubhouse Ride. 1 for 7 with older debut runners. 3 for 15 with first-time turf runners. I guess the best news in this pedigree is the dam was a rock-solid horse. Stakes winner on both synthetic and turf.
Yeah, stakes winner on both surfaces. All of her wins routing, though. She didn't win sprinting. She wanted to go longer. We'll see about Clubhouse Ride. With his turf, I didn't love him as a turf sire. And Craig Lewis, as good a job as he doesn't win with a lot of first-time starters.
Bella D, the number 4, goes out for trainer Mike Pipe by DeCarchi. 10% winners with older debut runners and with first-time turf runners. This dam was a stakes winner going down the hill sprinting on the turf at Santa Anita.
Yeah, the dam was actually a really good horse, and a horse that Pipey trained as well, so he's very familiar with her. I think she was on the board in every one of her career starts, a stakes winner on turf. She was also stakes placed on the turf. She could really run, and she could sprint too. There are things to like about this horse.
Number 5 is She's Devoted, first-time starter, trained by Richard Baltus by Grazen. 8 for 35 with older debut runners. 13% winners with first-time turf runners. Not a ton of turf on the bottom of this pedigree, but there is speed.
A lot of speed. It is the female family of Diabolical, who was a really fast dirt sprinter, but he was also a really fast turf sprinter. I think he might have been second in the Breeders' Cup turf sprint very early on. He was just a really fast horse. That horse is down there in the pedigree. We'll see what happens. There are things to like. They made this horse 3 to 1 on the morning line.
Surface switch for the 6, Sarah Crew. This horse shipping in from Golden Gate Fields, where she's been competing on the Tapeta surface. This will be her turf debut. Again, Grazen 13%. First-time turf runners. The dam won on the turf. This is a half to a stakes winning dirt sprinter named Oliver, but she ran to a pretty solid horse last time out, Mike. The runner-up came back to finish 3rd with a 60 buyer, then graduated with a 58 against state-bred maidens at Golden Gate.
I mean, a surface switching down here to the main circuit. Going to Leonard Powell's barn. He has good numbers off of trainer changes, especially with maidens. This dam, you know, she ran a lot early in her career on the main track and wasn't that good. End of her career, they switched to the turf, a 1st and a 2nd, and her first 2 starts sprinting on the grass. So maybe this surface switch will work for this horse too.
Experience counts in these races, and the 7 Kissable U already has 3 lifetime starts. Here's a formulator fact for trainer Doug O'Neill. Past 3 years, 3-year-olds moving from dirt to turf and route to sprint. 25% winners, positive return on investment. The one and only turf start came off of a layoff. She faced a field that produced 3 next out winners, including the runner-up, who came back to win with a 94 buyer speed figure in a maiden special weight on the dirt. Something tells me this horse is going to fire.
Yeah, the one turf start, I mean, if you go back and watch the replay, she didn't really do that much running in there, but it was an open company race, and
tough field.
Just feels like she was in against way better horses. You mentioned the runner-up won by 10 in her next start with a 94. The horse that finished 3rd won by 9 in her next start with a buyer of 86. I mean, they both came back, but they were dirt horses, so we'll see what it all means. It feels like that there's a lot to like about this horse, even though the turf debut, she didn't really do that much running.
Blinkers on for the 8, Ride Sally Ride. The final horse entered in the body of the race. There were 4 horses horses on the also eligible list. Ride Sally Ride, going dirt to turf for Jack Carava. The dam won on the turf. She's raced once in a 2-turn turf race. The 6th place finisher that day came back to win on dirt at Del Mar with a 60 buyer, beating Kissable U.
I mean, we'll see what happens. Going to have to improve a lot off of what she's done so far, cutting back in distance for this.
Tough race. It's easy to go with the experienced horses. Horses like the 7, Kissable U figures very likely in this field, but we're both going to go with first-time starters as we take a look at our top selections for Friday's race of the day. I like the speed and She's Devoted's family. I like this work tab, capped off with a bullet 3 furlongs on January the 4th. You're going to go with Bella D for Mike Pipebay.
Yeah, I can see your horse. I went with Bella D. I just felt like she might be an okay price in this race. I really liked that dam. She could run, and it felt like she was a turf sprinter, so I sort of guessed with that one.
4-2-5-3 for Mike. I'll guess with She's Devoted. 5-2-6-8 for me. We both go with firsters in Friday's race of the day to cap off the Santa Anita card. Approximate post time for race number 8, 4:32 Pacific. Good luck.